This is Gemara Avodah Zarah, Daf Yud Tes, and we're holding on Yud Ches and Beis, approximately 14 lines to the bottom. The first one in line is Gehenim. Amar Rav Oishia, Kol HaMisyaher Neifel B'Gehenim. Anyone who acts with yuhara, with arrogance, gaiva, will go to Gehenim. Shenemar Zayir Leit Shemai, Oisei Be'evra Zadain. That the willful, arrogant man, scoffer is his name, and of course, that's why we brought this down, as we're talking about Leitzanos, Vein Evra, as what? Al Genem Shem Yevra, HaYoim Ahu. Amar Rav Chanilai Bar Chanilai Kol Mitzlait, Seitz Karim Kaliyah La'ilam. Anyone who acts is with his lights, he scoffs, he's a late, brings destruction. Shenem Marvat Al Tzosu Ben Yachziku Mais Reichem Ki Cholav Nechertzu Shamati Amar Rav Elazar Kashehi Shetchilasan Yisuran V'Seifa Ki V'Seifa Kalaya. Says Rav Elazar, why is Leitzanos, why is Makri so difficult? Because at its beginning it's infliction and its end brings to ruin that it could completely destroy, as we just saw. Continues the Gemara, Darash of Shimon ben Pazi. Ashrei Yoish, praiseworthy is a man that does not go. Litartios larkarkisios. Shall avoid his chavim to theaters and circuses of Goyim. Uviderachatoyim loyamad. In the way of sinners, he does not stand. Zeshlo amad. What is this referred to? One who does not stand. A big nigyoin at a hunt. What does he not say with Leitzanos? But rather, what does he sit with? Does not sit with antics. Maybe one will say, I'm going to go, and I'll just indulge in sleep. It's not so bad. It's not leitzanis. It's not watching all these terrible things. Talmud Laimar says the Torah, no, it's not enough just to be passive. Ube Torah isai. Torah isai. Yagya yoimam. Valayla. Amar Rav Shmuel bar Nachmani in the last line. Amar Rav Yunus Ashi Shalach Lazas B'Shayim. What does that refer to as we turn over to today's Daf Yitesam and Aleph says the Gemara is Avraham Avinu. This is referring to Avram. Of course, Avram Ha'ivri. The whole world is on one side and he's on the other side. Avram Avinu, that what? Shleihalach, he did not follow. Ba'atzaz Anshe Dara Flugger, the plays of the Dara Flugger, Shoshaim Hayu. They were wicked. Shemar Havalanu, Hava Nivna Lanu Ir, B'derech HaTayim. Lo Yamad is referred to. Shlamar Ba'amdas, Ba'amidas Sidaim. Shachatayim Hayu. Shenemar, they were sinners. Vanshe Yisrael Ra'im V'chatayim L'Hashem Ma'id. And finally, Moshe Leitzim L'Yashav Shayashav B'Moshev Anshe Pelishtim Mimnei Shaleitzanim Hayu, that Avram Avinu did not stand with the Pelishtim because they were Leitzanis, they're jesting. Shenemar V'Yikatay V'Libam V'Yomer Kar L'Shimoin V'Yischak Lanu. Continues the Gemara with more Joshua is on this passing. Asher Aish Asher Lo Yalach V'Atzas Shayim Asher Aish Yarei Es Hashem Asher Aish, praise with demand V'Lo Asher Isha Amarav Asher Misha Oiseh Tshuva. Says the Gemara, praiseworthy is the one that does tshuva, kishehu ish, when he is a man. Meaning he's not coming to negate a woman, but rather he's coming to talk about an adult. Rav Yeshua ben Levi Amar Asher Misha mitgaber al yitzroi keish, as one overpowers his enemies. B'mitzvaysav chafetz ma'ayin, continues the psukim, and he cherishes his mitzvah. He says the Gemara about 15 lines down. The first one line is chafetz. Amar Avlaz b'atzav loy b'schar mitzvaysav. He cherishes the mitzvahs and not the schar. V'hainu d'tanan. Ho'ayaymer, says the Mishnah in Avos Altiu Kavadim Hashem Shem Mizrav Al Menasli Kabel Pras. That's not the appropriate way to serve Hashem. Elo Hayu Kavadim Al Hashem Shem Mizrav Shaloy Al Menasli Kabel Pras. Continues the Psukim Kiyim B'Teiras Hashem Chatzai. The Torah of Hashem is his desire. It's an important detail about what is appropriate limit of Torah. Says the Gemara teaches the Heilige Rebbe. Has to be something your heart desires. Shenemar Ki im b'Torah Hashem chafsayis, be your desire. Levi Rav Shimon Rebbe Yossi Kamei de Rebbe. Kabaski said Drasalik Sifra Levi Amar. They finished the sefer. They didn't know what to learn next. So it says Levi Leislan Mishlei. Let us learn Mishlei. Rav Shimon Rebbe Amar. Shimon Rebbe said let's learn Tilim. Let's learn Tilim. And Kafio Levi Rav Shimon prevailed over Levi Vaitu Tilim, and he brought out Tilim. Kimata Acha, when he reached the pasuk that we're darshaning over here, Rabbi V'amar, Rabbi stops and says, Ella mimakayim shaliba chafe. It's only in a place in which his heart desires. Amar Levi, says Levi, if that's what you feel, Rabbi nasatilan rishos la'amayid, I give you rishos to leave. If you're telling me this is not teirasai yega, it's not ratzai, and it's not your desire, then in a chanami you could move on. On the first white line, Amar Rav Dimi, Amar Rav Chama, Kol ha'isek ba'Torah Hakadosh Baruch Hu Yislech Chafatz. If Hashem does his desire, Shnei Amar Ki b'Torah Hashem Chafsei. Amar Rav Lo Yimalin Adam Torah b'Makom Shli B'Chafetz. You should teach Torah what your heart desires. Shnei Amar Ki b'Torah Hashem Chafsei. V'Amar Rav B'Tchaz Negros Al Shosh Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Originally, the Torah is called the name of Hashem. U'Lebisayv Negros Al Shemai, on our name, Shnei Amar Torah Hashem Chafsei. U'B'Sayv Rasai becomes your Torah Yegam V'Leila. First teach Torah. First Yelamed Adam Torah. First learn Torah, and then go deep into what you're learning. That's where you go deep. Says Rava, a person should first say over the words, even though he's going to forget it. He doesn't know it. My kamar, it doesn't say tchina, so the first thing is not to grind. The first thing is just to learn. Pick up some yidiyos, and then you come back around and you could actually understand. Rava asks us, it says in the pasuk that upon the wings, uksiv al kisei, upon a chair. So what is it? Is it sitting upon the wings or on a chair? But tchil al gapi on the wings of al kisei. Ksiv b'reish Meraim, ksiv alei derech. But tchil b'reish Meraim, on the top of the mountain of ksiv alei derech. Ula rami ksiv shasamayim yivorach, ksiv noizlin miteich ba'erech. But tchil shasam mevayrach, ksiv noizlin miteich ba'erech. Amar Rav Zchair, Amar Avuna, Ma'idil Siv. What is the meaning of the pasuk? Hain b'hoivel. Hain. May Hevel Yemat v'koybetz al yad yarbeh. Wealth is gained by dishonesty. Wealth that is gained by dishonesty will eventually diminish, but that which gets by the hand will increase. Says the Gemara. Sorry, a little bit of a bug. Adam Teirasai. Chavilas. You know, we learn from the pasuk, if you make the Torah into chavilas, into bundles, you learn a lot at once against a bundle. Then what? Mitmayit, you're going to decrease. But if you grab it by hand, small portions at a time, then yarben, then it will increase. Amar Rav Yadi Rabbanan Lamil Sav Ariel, the Rabbanan know what we just said, and says Rava, they are over on it. Arnach Yitzchak and Avidita. The Kaima Biyadi, I did like Ravuna. I learned a little bit at a time, and it was Kaima Biyadi. Amar Rav Shizbi Shizbi Lazman Azari Ma'idich Sev Lo Yacharach Ramiyah Sida Lo Sida. What is the meaning of the pasuk? A deceitful hunter will not roast his catch. Lo Yechev Lo Yarach Yamim Sayid Haramai. A deceiving hunter will not live nor lengthen his days. Rav Sheshes Amar Sayid Rama Yacharach. So Kiyas Rav Dimi Mashladim Shetzarsi Pyrin. It's a person that's trapping birds. Mashbrekin Afel Shal Rishon, it breaks the wings of the first bird. He traps it. Kulam mitzkayim biyadai, he'll trap all of them. Vimlav in mitzkayim biyadai. If he doesn't actually secure, doesn't actually clip the wing, then all the birds are going to fly off. You got to actually know what you're doing before you move on. And of course, this is the age-old debate. I mean, we're learning Daf Yomi here, but many will say Daf Yomi is a matzah of chavilos, bundles, large material at a time. Other programs are quick, slower, more thorough. But of course, the answer is number one. Hashem Chefsai, whatever you feel, whatever you getting your shmak in. But number two is, as every program, every time in the world, it's all about Chazara. Says the Gemara Vaita. According to the pasuk we had a few minutes ago, 5 lines on the bottom. Amri Devir Rav Yani Kate Shasalav Loy Kates Natua. a tree that is rooted, not a tree that is planted. Kolomi Torah mirav echad. You got to have multiple rabbeim. I'm there. Rabbanan. Beina deima lechu milsa. I want to tell you something. I'm afraid you're going to leave me and go elsewhere. What was the teaching? What was the din you want to teach? Guess what? They got up there into Rava. Analytics. Aval Gemara, when you're learning just quantity, mirav echad. Adif, it is better to learn from one singular person. Says the Gemara, why? As we turn over to Yotesim Ebeis, you know why? Delay liflug lishni, so there won't be stiras in what you learned. Of course, we have to remind ourselves that back in Zman Chazal, everything was learned Baal Peh. It was a matter of amassing all the different braysos, etc. So if you learn from multiple rabbeim, they run the risk that you're going to get confused. There's going to be stiras within it. You don't want different lashonis, etc. Apal Gemayim continues the Gemara in the top line. Number of Tanachim Baruch Hanilai. Loilam Yashlish Adam Shenaisav Shlish B'Mikra, third in Mikra, Shlish B'Mishnah. One should divide his years, the Shlish B'Mishnah, Shlish B'Talmud. Mi Ada Inish Kamachayas Gemara. How do we know how he's going to live? Ki Kamridan answers the Gemara, B'Yomi, you should split up your day, Mikra, Mishnah, and Gemara. Continues the Gemara 5 lines down. That Shapira Yitin B'itai. What does this mean? Amar Rava Impura Yitin B'itai. If you're fruit in the right time, Valehu Lo Yibol, then it will not wither. Vim Lav Ala Loimid Valam Alamid Aleim Akas Vaimer Lokina Rashayim Kim V'Gaimer. That, of course, what's going to happen? You're going to lose it all. Amar Rav Abba Amar Ravuna Amar Rav Maidach Sev. What is the meaning of the pasuk? Ki Ravim Chalolim Eipilu. What is the meaning of the pasuk that says many victims has been fallen? Let's Talmud. He didn't reach. He's not supposed to be teaching. He's not supposed to be paskening. And unfortunately, that's why it's the Talmud the opposite. And he's right to paskin. And he doesn't. Vadkama says the Gemara, until 40 years. I asked Rava, Rava, paskin, and yet he was not 40. Hasam b'shavin v'shavim. That in Rava they were equal, and therefore it's a different halacha. Valei Yibol continues the Gemara 13 lines down. The first one line is b'shavim. Omar Rav Acha, Omar Rav Ada, Omar Rav, Rav Acha bar Abba, Omar Rav Umnuni, Omar Rav. She'afilu sichas chulin. She'talmidei chachamim shichan talmid. You got to dive. You got to learn up. Even the stam conversations of talmidei chachamim shenamar v'aleu. Lo yibol, that the weeds should not wither. Yatzliach. Amar Rav Yishuv ben Levi Dara Zeh Kosav HaTorah. It's reading the Torah. Shani ben Nevi'im. It's repeating the Nevi'im with Shlush b'Ksuvim. It's the third time in Ksuvim. That what Kolaisik b'Torah who learns Torah Nechasam Matzlichan Loi. What's going to happen? Its property will be successful. What is that? Says the Gemara Ksiv Torah. It says in the Torah Kosav Torah. Where's the first time? Says in the Torah, says the Gemara, Techsev Shmartem Es Devarei Abreis Hazois, Vasi Semois Salaman Taskilu, Vesklasher Tason, Shani Ben Avim, Techsev Lo Yom Shtev Torah Azemi Picha, Vegis Vayom Valayla, Laman Tishra Lasais Chalai Kasabai, Ki Oz continues the Psukim, Ki Oz Tatzliach Esterachecha, Vaz Taskil, Meshulash V'Ksuvim. What's the third time in the Ksuvim? Techsev Ki Materis Hashem Chavsai. B'sayra sa yagayom man v'layla. Vayki shazal bal yemim continues Gemara Shabir Yitin v'Yita v'layla yibol choshayas matzliach. So Machsiv Rav Alexandria continues the Gemara. Machsiv Alexandria would call out, Man bayichai, who wants life. Kind of everyone came to him. Amar le havlon chayai. He said, I'm going to give you life. Amar le, oh, they say, give us life, and he responded, the famous. You want the elixir of life, close your mouth. Maybe a person is going to say, I did it. Let me just go to sleep. No, again, don't just be passive. And what does it mean, asay toiv? Ein toiv ala Torah shenamar ki lekach toiv. A good purchase ad l'chavtarasi al ta'azoivu. Continues the Gemara. That what? They're building a bathhouse. They reach the dome. They place the idol. Amar Avodah Zarah Rabbi Yochanan. If he transgressed and he built it, he's allowed to get paid. Scharai is going to be mutter. Pshita, says the Gemara. Why is it Bashar Misham She'akoyim? It's not the Avodah Zarah itself. It's auxiliary. It's auxiliary. Heinu Misham She'akom. Bein the Rav Yishmael. Bein the Rav Akiva. Everyone paskins. Heinu Asurin. Ad Sheyavdu. So this wasn't served yet. So clearly, of course, you should be able to get benefit from the money made. So then Shabir, because this is Avodah Zarah of the Goyim. Therefore, it's only Aser in benefit once it was actually served. But last thing, 2 lines to the bottom of the Mandamer. Shel akom asura miyad, Michael Meimar, Elamar Rabba Bar Ulo Nitzcha. Says the Gemara, you know what it's talking about? The final hammer blow, and that's going to be the Chiddush. Akom man kagarim la. What causes the Avodah Zarah itself to get the din of an idol? Gemar Melacha. Ve'im is having Gemar Melacha. Be'machosh achron, says Gemara, with the final blow of the hammer. Makosh achron less bei shava pruta, and that's why it's going to be allowed. Pruta. Alma kasavar yishen yesh l'schus chil v'atzayif. Says Gemara, so Raya, famous machlekes, that we consider the payment to building up, and therefore the final blow is only worth that one little bit. We'll pick it up from the Mishnah, B'siyata Dishmaya.